Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my thought for the day, my signpost, my guidepost, a little bit of inspiration early in the morning. Today it's based on a poem that I wrote in 2018, and it's called The Cosmic Illusion. Maya, how did we get here? The separation was a game to play. It became too serious, sent us all delirious, until we believed the lie. Untruth, how did we embrace it? Fooled by an amusement, meant as a distraction, nothing more. It nailed us to the floor, and yet our spirits are meant to fly. Darkness has to be around, because without it, all is light. Like the lightness in our hearts, like it was before the start. Instead, today we sit and cry. Remorse, the thoughts that linger. Hope is lost within when you embrace the illusion, which causes such confusion. Life's not meant to be filled with sighs. Maya, the cosmic illusion, the deception not meant to last. Duality, a break from who we are. The oneness remains in our hearts. So you might be wondering, what are you on about? It's my favorite subject. It's the duality and the oneness, and the idea or the belief that I have is that we're all sat there strumming our harps, sat on the clouds, totally blissed in heaven, and it went on for an eternity. And we got a bit bored with that, and we said, let's play a game. Okay, what's the name of the game? And the name of the game is duality, where in this world of duality, there's going to be ups and downs and ins and outs and lefts and rights and wrongs. There's going to be all these different heads and tails, separations. And it's just a game. It's not real, but it'll just add a bit of something for 60, 70, 80 years, if we're lucky to live that long. And it'll just be interesting, you know. it won't be better than bliss. Bliss is beautiful. Playing the harps is beautiful. Sitting on the cloud is lovely. Being in heaven and surrounded by love. And who's going to knock that as an idea? But just let's take a break and go and play a game. So I'm talking about Maya, which is the illusion that we are not part of the oneness, that we are separate, that we are individuals, that we are somehow different to the other 8 billion human beings out there, and that our planet is so much different to all the other planets. It's just that an illusion. It's part of the game of duality in my belief system. You don't have to believe what I'm saying, but you do need to know the context of the poem. So yeah, it was a game to play, but it's become too serious now, and it's sent us delirious. And we seem to have believed this lie that we all agreed to playing a game called duality, which is a lie. There is no duality. Everybody belongs together. We're all in the oneness. We're all connected in love. We are loving and light-filled beings, but we've decided to play this game, but the game's taken over. It's almost like we're someone who has put on a costume, but forgotten who they were before they put on the costume. We're not the costume. We're not this flesh and blood. We're actually the spirit being within us, and we've forgotten it. We've it's become serious, you know, that this is really what life's about. This corporeal mass, this soul cage. That's what life's about. And most people agree without actually saying it's an illusion. They would believe the reality that they see around them, even though we know that our eyes only see a very small spectrum of light, that there is infrared and there's, what's the other one? Ultraviolet, that we can't see. There's so much in our world that we really do not have the ability to understand. And quantum physicists are trying to get to the bottom of the illusion that is life. So we've embraced this untruth, which is that we're all separate, and we don't. In my belief system, we all belong together. And it's an amusement, and it's fooled us. You know, we created the illusion to amuse us, but we've been fooled by it. And it was just meant as a distraction. It wasn't meant as to be taken too seriously. It's just a game. And yet it's nailed us to the floor and stopped our spirits from flying. We've got to have darkness because if we didn't have darkness, everything would be light all the time. There'd be no shades. It'd be just pure bliss, back to heaven again. Yeah, there'd be no distinction. And I'm not saying that heaven is that boring a place, but when you're there for a whole eternity, then the idea of a distraction and a game to play called duality is a good one. But there is lightness, there is brightness in our beings, in our hearts, that was in heaven with us, and we brought it here as individuals, and yet we're sitting here and crying, and believing that the darkness has some kind of power, when we are in our own being light. Remorse, the thoughts that linger, the hope that's lost. You know, life, a lot of people live their lives in the past. They think back to either happy times or sad times, and whatever it is, whether it's a happy or a sad time, it's not now. They're not thinking about what's going on now. Some people are always thinking about the future. One day I'm going to do this and one day I'm going to do that, but they're worried that maybe it'll go wrong. And they're living in the future. They're trying to think it all through, what might happen, but they don't live in the now. And there is no remorse. There is no hope lost if you live in the present moment called now. When you embrace the illusion, which causes such confusion, life's not meant to be filled with sighs. That's not why we decided to play this game called duality. So we could be forever going, oh, that's not it. We're brilliant light. Maya, the cosmic illusion, the deception not meant to last, duality a break from who we are. The oneness remains in our hearts. We are still in our essence, in our spirit, in the depth of the pit of our stomach. We're still part of the oneness. We're still this beautiful, brilliant light that shines so brightly, if we allow it to, from each and every one of us. There are people whose light shines more brightly than others. Those are the kind of people who are still linked in to the oneness in a way that most of us have forgotten how to do that. And it's not that we can't or that we aren't. We are part of that oneness, and it's time for us to shine. So I'm going to read my poem again and end the broadcast, and thank you for your kind attention. The cosmic illusion. Maya, how did we get here? The separation was a game to play. It became too serious, sent us all delirious, until we believed the lie. Untruth, how did we embrace it? fooled by an amusement meant as a distraction, nothing more. It nailed us to the floor, and yet our spirits are meant to fly. Darkness has to be around because without it all is light, like the lightness in our hearts, like it was before the start. Instead, today we sit and cry. Remorse, the thoughts that linger, hope is lost within when you embrace the illusion which causes such confusion. Life's not meant to be filled with sighs. Maya, the cosmic illusion, the deception not meant to last. Duality, a break from who we are. The oneness remains in our hearts. From this separation, it's time to rise. Namaste.